Did you know a man once conquered most of the known world before he even turned 30? Alexander the Great, one of history's most renowned conquerors, is often portrayed as an invincible warrior. But what if I told you there was a time when even he considered retreat? Alexander the Great was born in 356 BC in Macedonia. At just 20 years old, he became king after his father's assassination. Trained by none other than Aristotle, Alexander wasn't just a warrior, he was a genius. In the next 12 years, he created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to Egypt and all the way to India. He never lost a single battle. His most famous fight, the Battle of the Hydaspes against King Porus in India. Even though Porus lost, Alexander was so impressed by his bravery, he let him continue to rule. Alexander the Great, one of history's most brilliant military minds, had just suffered a serious wound at the Battle of Gaugamela. Despite this, he continued to fight until the Persian king Darius III fled the battlefield. But now his soldiers were exhausted and the supplies were running low. All the able-bodied men in the army were needed to keep the huge war machine moving forward. Historians have often debated whether Alexander was influenced by the stories of his father, King Philip, who died at the hands of assassins, or was he trying to carve out an empire for himself like the legendary heroes of Homer? Whatever his motivations, Alexander's refusal to retreat from Gaugamela had catastrophic consequences. It led to the total destruction of his army and his own untimely demise at the age of just 32. But it wasn't just Alexander's ambition that made him such a compelling figure. He was also known for his incredible bravery and daring. He led his troops into battle alongside them, sharing their hardships and celebrating their victories. He was a larger-than-life figure who inspired both awe and fear in his enemies. One of the most famous stories about Alexander's bravery is the tale of how he stayed in the field when his troops wanted to retreat. When his army was exhausted and demoralized, he refused to let them go back, even though it meant certain death for many of them. In fact, Alexander was willing to sacrifice anyone who showed fear or hesitation. He cut the white flag of surrender watched by Parmenion, the satrap of Susa, and ordered him put to death. His obsession with pushing forward relentlessly led to the deaths of thousands of his soldiers, and eventually his own empire crumbled due to exhaustion and revolt. But Alexander never wavered in his determination to conquer new lands. Even when he was dying of malaria, he spent his last days planning for more campaigns. So what can we learn from the story of Alexander the Great? His life and death offer us some valuable lessons about the dangers of unchecked ambition, the importance of knowing when to retreat, and the value of human life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.